Whoa, what? What? How much longer is this movie again? Oh, I got about another hour, okay. Whoa! This would be the part where I do the TV stack thing, but I really, really need to get an intro. If anybody out there watching this knows how to make a good intro, could you let me know? Message me maybe. I have Facebook, I have Twitter, you can message me there. Thank you. Anyways, on to the review. Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis Media once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. And it's January. You know what that means. Horror movies in January and January movies in general. So let's talk about one. The Grudge is a remake to a remake. This remake actually, right here. And this is a remake to Juan the Grudge that came out, a year or two, a couple years before this remake, and it's about, where a bunch of people are at this house and creepy stuff goes on and stuff like that. I don't really need to explain what the movie's about because it should be pretty straightforward and simple, except it really isn't. So yeah, I saw this movie last night, really, really, really late. I was really, really, really tired, and I actually felt like I was about to go to sleep. This movie... Do I need to say anything else? Now, my thoughts on the Grudge series overall. This movie right here, I thought was alright, okay? I didn't hate this movie. I didn't love this movie. I just thought it was alright. I didn't really think it was that scary, but I didn't think it was a bad film either. This, however, doesn't need to exist in the slightest. I never actually watched the original Juan the Grudge. I heard it's supposed to be really, really creepy, kind of like The Ring or Ringu, the original Ringu, which I think is a classic, as well as The Ring. And yes, we also got Rings, which was also a January film. I did not like that movie, but that movie is a masterpiece compared to this, okay? Some people might not agree. I still don't like that movie. I think that movie's bad, okay? But it's not as bad as this. Oh my god. And that's something right there, because that retained its PG-13 rating. This one is going for a straight-up R rating, but we all saw Hellboy. We all know it was bad, okay? And, A Good Day to Die Hard. It just shows that just because you make your franchises rated R doesn't mean it's always going to work. Unless it's the Mad Max series. I mean, yeah, it's rated R for a reason. There's a lot of blood, and there's a lot of death and stuff like that, and honestly, it gets really, really ridiculous, okay? This movie was stupid, okay? And not to mention, of course, it was boring, okay? There's like a jump scare, like when it cuts to the next scene, there's like some creepy stuff that you're supposed to be scared of, but a jump scare pops up. And it's not really creepy, it gets repetitive extremely quickly. This movie is nothing but a jump scare fest that tries way too hard to make you jump. Sure, they're not entirely false, but they're generic and cliched, and it got super, 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 super ridiculous, and it got old really fast. And sure, it's an hour and 30 minutes long, but I felt like it was going on way, way too long. And none of the characters were interesting. While I will say that the performances weren't bad, nothing about them were interesting. I could say the most interesting was probably Lin Shaye's character, probably because I like Lin Shaye as an actress. I think she's a really, really good actress, okay? Ever since she was in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, yeah, she's been in a couple of bad movies, but I still think she's a fantastic actress, okay? I thought she was great in all the Insidious movies. Even though Insidious: The Last Key, I enjoyed it, okay? And, that movie came out in January also. So yeah, not every January horror movie is bad. I mean, I really enjoyed Mama. That came out in January of 2013, and that was surprisingly really, really good, actually. Pretty underrated, if you ask me. But still, though, Texas Chainsaw 3D, Bye Bye Man, The Forest, and there's a lot of January horror films that we get that just try too hard to scare you, but honestly, that's not what true horror is. This movie doesn't understand what true horror is. Like, I don't really need to explain any other horror film. Like, the movie, it wasn't scary. It was so boring. The movie was poorly edited, scattered all over the place. Scenes were misplaced, and honestly, it's typical January horror at its finest. Okay, and that's all that I really need to say. And honestly, I just really wanted to go home after the movie. I was just checking my watch, really just hoping that it would just go by. Honestly, I watched The Irishman like 2 or 3 times, probably 3 times, and that felt way shorter than this. And probably because the movie entertained me and it was actually interesting. This movie wasn't interesting. It was boring and it wasn't scary in the slightest, okay? Performances were fine, but that is not going to save this movie at all. So yeah, January's starting off with something, but a bang isn't it. I'm going to give The Grudge a 1 out of 5. So yeah, the year has just started and there's another horror film coming out called The Turning that might be worse, that might be better. Either way, my expectations for that are really really low. So yeah, let's just hope things get better. I mean the year just started, so I just had to see something before seeing 1917, and I know that movie's going to be fantastic. Finally going to be released everywhere next week, okay? Then after that, my best of the year list will finally be out next weekend. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.